close your eyes for a moment and imagine something different. Imagine learning English not with stress, not with books, not with pressure, but with rest. Imagine a kind of learning that happens quietly, softly, while your body sleeps and your mind wanders through a calm, peaceful night. Tonight, we're going to talk about that world, a world where your brain keeps learning even when your eyes are closed. A world where English feels gentle, comforting, and natural. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of English Ear Training Podcast. I'm Eva, your host, and I'm really happy you're here with me tonight. If you're listening right now, maybe your day was long, maybe your mind feels tired, maybe English sometimes feels heavy or confusing or too fast. But tonight, nothing will be heavy. Tonight, we slow down, we breathe, we relax, and we explore something beautiful together. How to learn English while you sleep. It sounds magical, I know. It sounds impossible, maybe. But as you'll discover, there's a kind of truth inside this idea. A gentle truth that can help you grow your English in a calm, human way. This episode will be long, quiet, soft, like a nighttime walk. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to remember everything. Just listen. Let the words move through you without pressure, without effort. And if you fall asleep while listening, that's okay. That's part of the journey. Actually, that's one of the goals, because this episode is not just information, it's an experience, a slow drift, a quiet space where learning and resting meet each other halfway. As you breathe slowly, I want you to notice something. Notice how different English feels when no one is judging you, when no one is testing you, when you're not trying to be perfect. At night, English stops being a challenge. It becomes a sound, a rhythm, a soft friend sitting beside you. Tonight, we'll explore how your brain behaves during sleep, why your memories grow at night, what science says, what is possible, and what is not. But more than that, we will talk about you. Your tired mind, your long days, your desire to learn English in a way that feels gentle and real and kind. Many English learners feel burnt out. They study hard. They work all day. They come home exhausted. And sometimes they feel guilty because they didn't practice enough. I want you to release every bit of that pressure tonight. Let it go. You don't need it here. You don't need to perform. You don't need to achieve. You only need to be present with my voice and with your breath. Just listening is enough. Because this episode is not a lecture. It's a slow night story about your brain, your dreams, and the English you want to grow. Learning while you sleep is not magic. It's not a secret shortcut. But there is something real and meaningful inside this idea. And when you understand it, you'll see that nighttime can become a soft helper in your English journey. So take another slow breath. Let your shoulders fall. Feel your body melting a little more into your bed or your chair. The day is behind you. Now everything you did, everything you worried about, everything you didn't finish, leave it outside this moment. You are here now. and this moment belongs to you. Let's talk about why so many people all around the world believe in sleep learning and why the idea is more interesting than it seems. Because sometimes, when you are lying in the dark with your eyes closed and your body soft, your brain is doing something magical. Not loud magic, not fast magic, but quiet magic. The kind of magic that happens deep inside you, in your memories, in your emotions, in the soft places where learning truly begins, and maybe, just maybe, your brain can help your English grow in ways you never expected. So now, as the room grows quieter, as the night folds gently around you, let's begin this journey from the very beginning. Let's trace the footsteps of this strange idea. Let's enter the story of sleep learning, where it started, why people believed it, and why the idea refuses to disappear. This is where our night truly begins. Before we talk about science and brain waves and memory and what really happens when you sleep, I want to take you somewhere softer, somewhere quieter, somewhere in the past. Because this idea, this dream of learning while you sleep, didn't just appear one day out of nowhere. It started long, long ago, in small rooms and old laboratories, with curious people who looked at the sleeping mind and wondered what secrets it was hiding. Imagine a scene with me. It is the 1950s, a time when the world was full of inventions, and everyone believed that anything was possible. You can almost hear it. The soft crackle of old radios, the gentle hum of tape machines, the quiet excitement of scientists with big ideas and bright eyes. In these quiet laboratories, a new question was born. Can the mind learn while the body sleeps? People called it hypnopedia, a big word that simply means sleep learning. The idea spread quickly, not because it was proven, but because people wanted to believe it. They wanted something easy, something gentle, something magical. Picture a person lying in bed, eyes closed, breathing softly. Next to them, a small box plays recorded sentences. I speak French. I remember everything. I learn easily. Again and again, all through the night, people thought these whispering machines would change lives, and in a way they did. Not through results, but through hope. Hope is powerful. Hope makes us try things that science cannot explain. Hope makes us believe that maybe, just maybe, the night is hiding something beautiful. But soon, scientists began testing the idea. They connected wires to sleeping volunteers. They watched their brainwaves. They played sentences and waited for morning miracles. And the results? Not magic, not fluency, not instant learning, but also not nothing. They found tiny responses, small brain signals, soft reactions to familiar sounds, not learning exactly, but listening. A kind of listening that was quiet, deep, and different from the daytime. For a while, people stopped believing. They said it was impossible, a dream, a fantasy. But time passed. The world changed. And the idea returned, this time as a whisper on the internet. If you search on YouTube today, you will find hundreds of videos with titles like Learn English While You Sleep, 8 Hours of English Phrases for Sleep, Nighttime learning for fluency. Millions of people listen, some leave comments. I woke up feeling more confident. I remember more words now. I don't know how it works, but something feels different. Others say it didn't help, others say they slept better, others say it calmed their mind. And again, we return to the same truth. People try sleep learning because they're tired, not lazy, not careless, tired of stress, tired of pressure, tired of feeling behind, tired of never having enough time. And they want to believe that the night, the quiet part of life, can give them something the day cannot. Maybe you feel that too. Maybe that is why you're here. Curious, hopeful, a little overwhelmed, a little unsure. And that's okay, because sleep learning is not about magic. It's about understanding how your brain works when you're resting and using that natural power in a gentle, realistic, human way. But before we talk about what sleep can do and what it cannot, let me paint a picture of something personal. Imagine a learner. Someone like you, someone with dreams, someone trying to improve. This learner wakes early, goes to work, returns home tired, and still tries to study English. But every night they feel guilty. They didn't finish the lesson, didn't memorize the words, didn't practice speaking. Everything feels slow, feels stuck, feels frustrating. And then one night, they find a video, Learn English While Sleeping. They click, they listen, they close their eyes, and for the first time, English doesn't feel scary. It doesn't feel difficult. It doesn't feel like school. It feels gentle, warm, soft, like a friend sitting beside them in the dark. This is why sleep learning became popular again, not because of a miracle, but because of a feeling of comfort, a feeling of hope, a feeling that English doesn't always have to be hard. And that feeling is important, very important, because how you feel when you learn can completely change what your brain remembers. So tonight, as we go deeper, I want you to keep this in mind. Sleep learning is not a trick, it is not a shortcut, but it is a helper, a soft helper that works best when you understand what your brain actually does while you sleep. And that is exactly where we're going next. In the next part, we're going to step inside your sleeping brain, into the quiet rooms where memories are sorted, strengthened, and protected. We'll explore sleep cycles, dreams, light sleep, deep sleep, and why nighttime is one of the most powerful times for learning. Take one more slow breath. Feel the calm around you, and when you're ready, we'll open the door to the science behind your dreaming mind. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself lying in bed. The lights are off. The world is silent. Your breathing becomes slow, soft, steady. Your body rests. Your muscles relax. Your eyes become still. It feels like everything inside you is switching off. But the truth is different, because even though your body sleeps, your brain is wide awake in its own secret way. It begins a beautiful process, a nighttime dance that you never see and never feel. And this dance is one of the biggest reasons why sleep learning can help you in small but powerful ways. Let's walk into that hidden world, slowly, gently, step by step. The 4 stages of sleep. You don't simply fall asleep and stay in one place. Your brain moves through different levels again and again through the night. Think of these levels like soft waves, first gentle, then deep, then dreamlike, then gentle again. These waves repeat every 90 minutes like a calm rhythm, and each stage has its own job. Stage 1. The doorway. This is the moment your eyes begin to close, but you still hear the world. A soft voice, a quiet sound, a whisper of English in the background. Your brain is relaxed, not yet asleep, but floating. This stage is perfect for comfort, for calm, for creating a peaceful connection with the language. Stage 2. The light sleep. This is the stage where your brain starts letting go of the day. Your heartbeat slows. Your breathing becomes smooth. Your mind stops jumping from thought to thought. If you play gentle English here, simple words, familiar sentences, slow rhythms, your brain might notice them like quiet shapes in the dark. Not clearly, not strongly, just softly, like the echo of a memory. Stage 3. Deep sleep. This is the deepest stage, the stage of healing, the stage of repair. Your brain sweeps away stress. It cleans old information. It protects what is important and releases what is not. In this stage, you cannot learn anything new. Your brain is too deep, too quiet, too far away. But here's the beautiful part. This stage builds the foundation for remembering tomorrow. Everything you learn during the day, words, stories, phrases, feelings, are reorganized like tiny files. This is memory consolidation. Your brain chooses what to keep and what to let go. You don't feel it, you don't hear it, you don't know it, but it's happening. A whole team inside your mind working while you rest. Stage 4. REM sleep. This is the dream stage. Your eyes move quickly under your eyelids, your brain becomes active, almost like daytime. You dream, you imagine, you travel into memories. In this stage, your brain replays emotions and strengthens connections. You may hear English from your daytime study. You may feel a sentence repeating softly from earlier that evening. You may even dream in small pieces of English because the brain is reorganizing its thoughts. The honest answer is, not really, but it does remember better. And that is the real secret. Your brain uses the night to make your English stronger, not new English, not new rules, not new vocabulary, but the things you already planted during the day. Sleep is the water. You are the gardener. Think about this. If you study a new word at noon, your brain says, okay, maybe I'll remember this. But if you study it again at night, gently, calmly, with no pressure, and then sleep, your brain says, oh, this is important. Let me keep it. That moment right before sleep is powerful. Your brain is relaxed. Your emotions are soft. Your mind is open. And when you fall asleep afterward, your brain continues the work you started. In the last 10 years, scientists placed sleeping volunteers in quiet rooms. They put sensors on their heads to listen to their brain waves. Then they played simple English words or foreign language words or small vocabulary pairs. They discovered something fascinating. If the words were familiar, studied before bedtime, the brain responded to them during sleep, not as learning, but as reinforcement, a strengthening, a deepening, a whisper of memory. But if the words were new, never studied while awake, the brain ignored them. It didn't care. It didn't save them. It didn't learn. Your brain protects you from too much noise during sleep. It learns only what you cared about before you fell asleep. Did you ever notice you remember emotional moments better? A happy memory, a sad moment, a story that touched your heart. Your brain saves emotional learning 30% faster. And this is why gentle nighttime English can help. Because night is naturally emotional, soft, warm, quiet, open. You're not in study mode. You're not stressed. You're not comparing yourself to anyone. Your mind is relaxed, and a relaxed brain remembers better. Some learners say, "I don't know why, but I understand English better in the morning." Others say, "I wake up feeling like English is closer to me." This happens because your sleeping brain is reorganizing the language you touched during the day, not magic, not shortcuts, just biology, memory, emotion, repetition, rest. Maybe you've had moments when a sentence felt clearer the next day, or a word came to you more naturally than before. That is your night brain doing quiet work while you slept. A silent partner, a soft teacher, a gentle helper you never see. And now that you understand this hidden world inside you, we can go deeper. In the next part, we'll explore the real experiments that surprised scientists and what they discovered about learning languages in the dark. But for now, take a slow breath, feel the calm around you, and let the night hold you. Tonight, as you continue to relax and your breathing becomes softer, I want to talk to you gently about something important, because many learners come to this topic with big dreams. They hear the words, "learn English while sleeping," and they imagine waking up fluent, confident, ready to speak like a native. If only it were that simple. Learning while you sleep is real in one way and not real in another. It has power, but not the kind of power that gives instant results. It has limits, but also quiet strengths that many people don't notice until they feel it in their daily lives. So let me guide you through the real truth. No promises, no magic, just calm understanding. Some things your brain simply cannot learn in the dark. You cannot learn grammar rules while you sleep. Your brain needs attention to understand structure. Where the subject goes, where the verb sits, why a sentence changes when time changes. This kind of learning needs focus, and sleep does not provide it. You also cannot become fluent by playing audio at night. Fluency is a body skill. Your mouth learns it. Your tongue learns it. Your breathing learns it. You need real conversations, real mistakes, real practice. Sleep cannot move your mouth for you, and you cannot learn brand new vocabulary that you've never heard before. If a completely new word enters your ears while you're deep asleep, your brain treats it like background noise. It doesn't save it. It doesn't store it. It doesn't remember. But here is the part people forget to talk about. Here is the part that makes sleep learning quietly powerful. There are things your brain can do at night. Things that matter more than you think. Your brain can strengthen words you already learned. If you studied 10 words in the evening and you hear them again as you fall asleep, your brain whispers, "I know this. Let me hold on to it." Your brain can make the sounds of English feel more familiar. When you hear simple sentences again and again, softly, without pressure, your brain starts accepting them as normal, not foreign, not scary. And this comfort is the first step toward natural speaking. Your brain can help you feel confident. Confidence doesn't come from perfect grammar. It comes from familiarity. It comes from hearing something many times until it feels like home. Nighttime English gives you this feeling without effort. Your brain can soften your fear. So many learners carry quiet fear inside them. Fear of speaking, fear of mistakes, fear of not understanding. But when English becomes part of your night, your mind learns that the language is gentle, not something to fear. Your brain can repeat patterns over and over in a way you don't notice. You hear a simple sentence like a soft wave. I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there. Your brain absorbs the pattern, the rhythm, the shape of the sentence, without needing any effort at all. And this is how children learn, not by memorizing rules, but by hearing patterns thousands of times until they become natural. Sleep brings you a small piece of that magic. Maybe not enough to master a language, but enough to help you move one small step forward every single night. And sometimes those small steps become the difference between giving up and continuing. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine a learner who listens to the same soft story every night before bed. At first, they understand 60%. The next week, 70%. A few nights later, almost everything feels familiar. Not because the story changed, but because their brain heard it again and again in a peaceful state. One night, as they drift into sleep, the story plays softly, almost like a lullaby, and their mind absorbs the rhythm of the sentences, not perfectly, not consciously, but gently. The next morning, they speak, and suddenly, a sentence comes out more smoothly than before. They didn't plan it, they didn't force it. It just appeared like a quiet gift. This is the real power of nighttime learning. Not magic, not shortcuts, just a soft connection between calm repetition and memory. So yes, there are things your sleeping brain cannot do, but there are also things it does beautifully, quietly, naturally. Things that support your English in ways you may not even notice until days later. And tonight, as you lie down, listening to my voice, with the day behind you and the night opening gently in front of you, I want you to remember this. Your English does not grow only when you try hard. Sometimes it grows when you stop trying, when you let go, when you breathe, when you rest. Sometimes your night is smarter than your daytime mind, and in the next part, I'll guide you through something special: how to prepare your brain before you fall asleep, so it becomes ready to hold your English just a little deeper in the night, before you fall asleep tonight, before your eyes grow heavy and your breathing becomes soft. I want to show you something simple and quietly powerful. It's something most people ignore, something small, something gentle, but something that can change how your brain remembers English when you close your eyes. It begins in the last 20 minutes before sleep. This small window, this tiny piece of time right before your night begins, is like a doorway. A soft doorway between the busy world and your dreaming mind. What you do in this doorway decides how your brain will treat your English for the rest of the night. So tonight, I want you to imagine yourself in this quiet space. Your room is dim, your phone is away, your mind is not rushing. You can feel the day falling off your shoulders, little by little, until you become lighter and calmer. You sit on your bed or lie down gently and take one slow breath. And in that moment, you choose something small to give to your brain, not something new, not something difficult, not something you need to memorize, just something familiar, something you touched earlier in the day. A phrase, a sentence, a tiny story that felt warm or meaningful or simply pleasant. Because when you choose something familiar, your brain says, "Oh, I know this. Let me take it with me into the night." Your brain does not want noise before sleep. It does not want pressure or confusion. It wants softness. It wants clarity. It wants something simple that it can carry gently into your dreams. So you take that small piece of English and you touch it again. Maybe you whisper it. Maybe you listen to it softly. Maybe you read it slowly with calm eyes and a relaxed heart. Imagine yourself reading a small sentence. I wake up early. Or I like the sound of the morning. Or I am learning, even when I rest. You read it once. You read it twice. Not to memorize it, just to feel it. Your brain loves when you feel things. It remembers feelings more than rules, more than charts, more than long lessons. So when you give your brain a gentle, familiar feeling right before you sleep, it carries that feeling into the night. Now imagine you have a simple audio you like, a calm story, a soft voice, something you listened to earlier in the day. You play it quietly, not loud, not fast, just enough for it to float around the room. The sound touches you like a warm blanket, not heavy, not distracting, just comforting. Your brain hears it. And because the words are familiar, something interesting happens. Your mind relaxes, your heart slows down, your thoughts soften, and the words begin to feel like gentle waves coming to the shore. Whenever I talk to learners, people who feel shy, people who feel tired, people who feel like English is slipping away from them, I always tell them this: don't study hard at night. Study soft. The night is not a classroom. The night is not a test. The night is not a competition. The night is a warm space where your brain is willing to help you if you treat it kindly. So before sleep, do not fight with English. Do not force yourself to understand everything. Do not push. Just let the language sit beside you the way a friend does. Quiet, gentle, comforting. And one more thing, smile. I know it sounds strange, but if you smile as you touch your English before bed, your brain remembers it as something positive, something pleasant, something safe, and your memories become stronger when they are linked to a calm feeling. A soft smile tells your mind, I like this, keep it for me. And your brain listens. So imagine yourself now in your room, the night around you like a blanket, your thoughts slowing down. You whisper a phrase you learned and you let it float. You listen to a short audio and you let it settle. You feel your eyes grow heavy and you let them close without trying to stay awake. Because the moment your mind crosses the line between waking and dreaming, your brain begins its work. It carries the words, it holds the feelings, it protects the patterns you touched before sleep. You don't notice, you don't control it, you don't need to. All you need is a few minutes of calm preparation, and your brain will do the rest. This is the beginning of real nighttime learning. Not magic, not shortcuts, but gentle cooperation between your waking mind and your sleeping one. And now that your brain is ready for the night, we can talk about something important. What to listen to while you sleep, and what to avoid. Because the sounds you choose make all the difference, and I'll guide you through that in the next part. Now that your mind is calm and your body is slowly preparing for the night ahead, I want to take you to a very gentle question. What should you listen to when you sleep? It sounds simple, but it's one of the most important choices in this whole journey. Because the sounds you allow into your sleeping mind shape the way your brain responds, remembers, and relaxes. Not all English is right for the night. Some English wakes you up. Some English confuses you. Some English is too fast, too heavy, too bright for a sleepy brain. So imagine you are lying in bed right now. Your pillow is soft. Your room is dim. Your breath moves slowly in and out. You feel safe. You feel warm. You feel ready to fall into the night. In this moment, your mind needs something quiet and familiar. Something you already touched during the day. Something you already understood, at least a little. Something with rhythm. Something with emotion. Something that makes you feel calm just by hearing it. Think of English not as a subject you must study, but as a sound you can rest inside. This is the heart of nighttime learning. And when choosing the right audio, the most important rule is very simple. Choose gentle English that your brain already knows. Imagine hearing a small story you listened to earlier, a tiny moment in someone's life, a simple routine, a soft memory. Nothing difficult, nothing heavy. Nothing that makes your brain work too hard. The nighttime is not the place for fast conversations, sharp grammar lessons, or complicated vocabulary. The nighttime is a warm place for repetition. Repetition is the voice of the night. Now imagine a small story you heard before. Maybe it goes something like this. I wake up early. I make my tea. I step outside and feel the morning air. A simple moment, a small picture. You don't need to analyze it. Your brain doesn't need to study anything. It only needs to listen the way a child listens to a bedtime story. Slowly, softly, with no pressure. Your brain loves stories at night because stories carry emotion. Emotion makes memory sticky. Emotion gives meaning to the sounds inside your head. A familiar story is perfect nighttime English. Simple English phrases you already heard are also perfect. Imagine hearing a calming voice say, "I understand more each day." "I feel comfortable with English." "I am learning, even when I rest." I enjoy these words. When these kinds of sentences float into your sleepy mind, your brain doesn't fight them. It welcomes them. Not because they teach you facts, but because they wrap you in a feeling. And feelings are the strongest glue for memory. Now imagine this. You recorded your own voice earlier in the day. Just a few lines. Something personal, something soft, something you liked. At night, you play that recording. Your own voice becomes a bedtime companion. Your words become a gentle reminder of what you learned. Your brain listens differently to your own voice. It feels safe. It feels familiar. It feels warm. This is one of the most intimate and powerful tools in nighttime learning. But here is something even more important. Volume. The volume must be low, very low, almost like a whisper in the distance. Loud English wakes the mind. Soft English sinks into it. Imagine the sound being just loud enough to touch your mind, but quiet enough to leave you drifting in half dreams. That is the perfect space for gentle reinforcement, not learning, reinforcement, the soft strengthening of things you touched during the day. Now picture another scene. You're lying in bed and there's slow, calm music in the background, not music with lyrics, not music with strong beats, just soft tones that move like waves. Music can help the mind relax. It opens the brain gently, like a flower in the dark. And when English sits on top of that softness, your mind accepts it without resistance. You don't need much. A few simple sentences, a gentle story, a calm voice, a little music. And if you ever feel unsure about what to choose, remember this. At night, your brain wants comfort, not challenge, not difficulty, not effort. Comfort, familiarity, warmth. The same small story repeated for days is more powerful than 100 new lessons because the night loves repetition. Your brain absorbs the rhythm, the tone, the feeling of something you already know, and every night adds one more quiet layer to your memory. You don't feel it. You don't notice it, but it's happening. Night after night, soft step after soft step, without pressure, without force. Now imagine you're drifting off to sleep right now. A calm voice is speaking gently. A simple story is floating in the background. Your eyes are heavy. Your mind is drifting. And you are learning in the only way sleep allows. Calmly, slowly, quietly, with nothing to push, nothing to memorize, nothing to prove. Just you, your breath, and a soft voice guiding your dreams. And in the next part, we'll bring all of this together into a real, practical routine, something simple and comforting that you can follow every day to let your English grow during the night and during the day. But for now, just breathe slowly and let your mind rest. Now that you've walked with me through the world of nighttime learning, now that you understand how your mind works when your eyes are closed, and now that you've seen how gentle repetition can help your English grow, I want to bring everything together in the softest, simplest way. Imagine your day as a quiet circle. It begins in the morning, full of energy, full of movement, and it ends here. In the stillness of night, your English can live inside that circle without stress, without pressure, without fear. It begins with a small moment in the morning, maybe just a few seconds of soft English. A simple sentence, a gentle story, something light that touches your mind before the day becomes busy. Later, in the middle of the day, you meet the same English again. Not for long, not with effort, just a friendly reminder, a soft whisper that tells your brain, "Oh, this again. I remember this." And then, as the evening arrives and your body becomes tired, you touch the same English one more time, not to study, not to memorize, but to tell your mind gently, "This is important to me, please keep it." That is the moment when your night begins, because sleep learning doesn't start when you close your eyes. It starts when you prepare your brain in a calm, loving, almost tender way. It starts when you choose something simple, something familiar, something soft to bring with you into your dreams. Picture yourself at the end of the day. Your room is quiet. Your body is still. Your thoughts become slower, like snow falling in a dark, peaceful forest. You sit or lie down and you read a short English line you learned earlier. "I'm learning gently," or "I understand more each day," or "I am growing even when I rest." You read it once, then again. You don't try to keep it. You don't try to remember. You just let it be part of the moment. Then you press play on something soft. Maybe a tiny story. Maybe a calm voice. Maybe your own voice saying something simple. And the room begins to fill with a peaceful rhythm. Your brain listens without trying. Your heart relaxes without effort. Your breathing slows down without planning. And slowly, gently, quietly, you drift into sleep. This is where nighttime English does its work. Not in the learning of new things, not in memorizing, not in pushing, but in the strengthening of what you touched earlier, in the soft deepening of familiar sounds, in the comfort that English becomes when you hear it without fear. Your brain holds the patterns like threads of light. Your dreams wrap around them. Your night protects them. And the next morning, you feel something small. A shift, a softness, a familiarity you didn't feel before. Maybe one phrase feels easier. Maybe one sentence comes more naturally. Maybe you feel less afraid. Not a big change, not a miracle, just a small step, but small steps every night can take you somewhere beautiful. You don't have to run. You don't have to rush. You don't have to push yourself until you break. You only need a gentle rhythm, a soft routine, a night that supports the work you do during the day. And now, as this episode comes to its quiet end, I want to leave you with one last image. Imagine your mind as a small garden, a peaceful garden hidden inside you. Every time you learn something during the day, you plant a tiny seed, a new word, a new sentence, a new sound. During the evening, you water that seed with a little review, a little listening, a little attention. And at night, while you sleep, your garden grows. The roots get stronger, the leaves become wider, the colors become deeper. You don't see it happening. You don't feel it happening. But every night while you rest, your English grows slowly, quietly, beautifully. You are not behind. You are not too slow. You are not failing. You are growing in your own way, in your own time, in your own rhythm. And that rhythm includes the night. So as you lie down tonight with your mind soft and your breathing slow, let English be the gentle companion that walks with you into sleep. Let the words float. Let the sentences drift. Let your mind grow without effort. You can let go now. You can rest. You can trust that your brain is doing the work you cannot see, and tomorrow you may wake up just a little more confident, a little more comfortable, a little more connected to the language you love. We'll stop here for today. You've done enough. You've listened, you've relaxed, and you've taken another quiet step on your English journey. Before you go, I want to leave you with a small reminder. Today we explored how your mind can learn softly while you sleep, how the night can support your English in a gentle, natural way. And in the next episode, we'll continue this experience in a different way. I'll tell you a long, calming bedtime story, a peaceful story made to help you rest, relax, and learn English as you drift into sleep. So make sure you don't miss it. If this episode helped you, please like the video so more learners can find it. And if you want more calm, simple human English listening practice, don't forget to subscribe to English Ear Training Podcast. Share this episode with someone who needs a softer, kinder way to learn English. Thank you for being here with me. I'll see you in the next episode.